Welcome to Gorilla's Friday Challenge Week 13 with Gorilla Test Papers. This weekly series is designed to help you master all key topics in the SEAG specification. This week we will look at the topic of turns and directions. This is the first question of the week. The question asks, if I face north and turn to face east, what type of turn have I made? The multiple choice options are half a turn clockwise, a quarter of a turn anti-clockwise, a whole turn, a 3/4 turn clockwise, and a 1/4 turn clockwise. Pause the video now to try the question yourself. Alright, let's get into it. The first learning point of the week is that a quarter turn changes your direction by 90 degrees, either clockwise, which is right, or anti-clockwise, which is left. Now let's look at the starting direction. We're facing north, and the question tells us we turn to face east. So now we need to work out what kind of turn this is. From north to east is a 90-degree turn, and since it's turning to the right, it's a clockwise turn. And a 90-degree turn is also called a quarter turn. This is because a whole turn is 360 degrees, and if you divide that by 4, you get 90. So 1/4 of a full turn is 90 degrees. So looking back at the options, the correct answer is E, a 1/4 turn clockwise. This is the answer for this question. This is the second question of the week. The question asks, what fraction of a whole turn is the same as a 270-degree turn in the simplest form? Pause the video now to try the question yourself. Alright, let's get into it. The learning point for this question is that a whole turn is 360 degrees, and you can use this to help find the fraction of any turn. Now let's look at a few key angles on a circle. So 0 degrees is no turn, 90 degrees is a quarter turn, 180 degrees is a half turn, 270 degrees is a 3/4 turn, and 360 degrees is a whole turn. So if 360 degrees is a whole turn, then we can do 270 over 360, and when we simplify this down, we get the 3/4. So therefore, a 270-degree turn is the same as 3/4 of a whole turn, or a 3/4 turn. This is the answer for this question. This is the next question of the week. The question asks, if a robot faces east and makes 3 1/4 turns anti-clockwise, where is it facing now? Pause the video now to try the question yourself. Alright, let's get into it. In this question, the robot is turning anti-clockwise, which means to the left, and it makes 3 1/4 turns. So let's break it down step by step, starting from east. So after the first 1/4 turn anti-clockwise, the robot is facing north. After the second one, it's facing west. And after the last one, it's facing south. So therefore, 3 1/4 turns anti-clockwise from east takes the robot to south. This is the answer for this question. This is the fourth question of the week. The question asks, if I start facing west and make a 135-degree clockwise turn, which direction am I now facing? Pause the video now to try the question yourself. Alright, let's get into it. Let's break the turn into 2 different steps. So the first step will be a 90 degrees clockwise turn from west. Now we do 135 minus 90 to find out how much is left after the first turn. This gives us 45. The second step is the remaining 45 out of the 135. So the first clockwise turn from west takes us to north. The second step from north takes us to northeast. So therefore, after a 135-degree clockwise turn from west, you end up facing northeast. This is the answer for this question. This is the last question of the week. The question asks, if I begin facing east and make a 585-degree turn in the anti-clockwise direction, which direction will I be facing after the turn? Pause the video now to try the question yourself. Alright, let's get into it. The learning point here is that a whole turn is 360 degrees, which brings you back to the same direction. We can use this to simplify larger turns. So first we need to subtract 360 degrees from 585 degrees to remove the full turn. So we do 585 degrees minus 360 degrees, which gives us 225 degrees. So we're left with a 225 degrees anti-clockwise turn from east. So now let's break it down step by step. So first we can do 180 degrees anti-clockwise turn from east, which takes us to west. Then we still have 45 degrees more to turn anti-clockwise, because when we take away 180 from 225, it gives us 45. And so a 45-degree anti-clockwise turn from west takes us to southwest. So therefore, after a 585 degrees anti-clockwise turn from east, I'll be facing southwest. This is the answer for this question. Congratulations, you have now completed this week of Gorilla's Friday Challenge by Gorilla Test Papers. If you're looking for more SEAG materials, head over to our site at www.gorillatestpapers.co.uk for all the resources you need. Don't forget to like this video and let us know how you did in the comments. We'd love to hear your score and any thoughts you have about the series. See you next week for another session of Gorilla's Friday Challenge.